What's up? Welcome back. I'm John Sark from ActionMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and this is a TV series slash season review of Sausage Party Foodtopia. This is on Amazon for Prime subscribers. It has narration from Roundabout, narrated by Camila Rojo. So, Rozo, I don't know, one of those two things. I write things down sometimes, and then my screen reader reads it back, and then I'm like, did I phonetically do this? Did I use dictate? I don't even remember. Uh, so yeah. Um, so I'll talk about the audio description in a minute. I'm wearing a purple hat, it's backwards. Again, it's baseball cap, black sunglasses, and a Thor t-shirt for this review. And I do have a review that's going up today. It's also of Sausage Party, the movie, which I had already seen before. So it's a second look at Sausage Party. So if you're curious about the movie, does have audio description on Netflix, and I do talk about that. Now I'm going to talk about the series, which takes place. I have to talk about it as if you've seen the movie because basically it's a sequel. So, um, yeah. So it takes place. There's been a war. Food won. They killed off humans, which, let's be honest, we're eating ultra processed food. They're winning anyway, uh, slowly. But um, and then they live in this like utopia where they just have sex all the time. And it is more graphic and it's more obvious, and there's like more moaning and like a lot more. Uh, they can go a lot further because they don't have an MPAA rating here that they have to worry about. That's the thing with TVMA, is that it's not something that there's no board that assigns that. That's decided by the people that make the content when it comes to TV shows. So you they don't have to go in front of a board. There's no risk of them being unrated NC-17 or anything like that. Uh, they can make it, and that is The Boys is pushing that limit. This is really pushing that limit. There's an episode that specifically has another warning in front of it, and it's like, yeah, I guess, but I mean, like, you've already gone far enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that that necessarily goes any further, but I can see why that would be a thing. I mean, this is on Amazon, which also when The Boys had a little tiny man that went inside a dude's penis and masturbated him from the inside. So, like it's just it's a little hard to buy that Amazon asked them for that episode to be like, well, we need to, unless they're just worried that just because people see that it's animation, the kids will click on it if they don't have parental controls. In which case, you should be horrified. Your kids are gonna. Oh my God, so many questions I'll have after this. Um, so the series starts off with them having lots of sex, and then rain comes, and I guess it never rained during the war. I'm not saying this is the best series ever. We're not getting that point. No, this is not an A review. No. So basically, they went through a whole war and killed off all billions of humanity on this planet, and the food, it never rained. So now they're encountering rain for the first time, and rain seems to affect everybody, regardless of whether it actually would affect that food product. Like there's a scene where a can is running, and I'm like, you're fine, can. Like maybe your label will get a little messed up, but basically you're fine. Um, and like bottles are running and stuff. And I'm just like, I can't do this, you know. Uh, so bag of chips is like drowning, and I'm like, the chips are fine. Like if there's this food would survive the rain, the bread wouldn't, and that's why the bread products are running around, like crazy food. Um, so later on, we find out that there might be one human left. It's voiced by Will Forte, who joins the cast, the original returning cast of Seth Rogen, Kristen Wiig, Michael Cera, and Edward Norton. The only four people that returned to this film. Unfortunately, we lost Salma Hayek's Taco. It's just, I didn't even mention. I didn't even catch the mention. At least with Lavash, they're like he died in war. So they're like, Lavash, no. I'm like, what happened to the Taco? Um, I mean, considering like they have a primarily male cast, it would have been actually really nice to have like another female voice cast member. Just food for thought, but um, it doesn't happen. Uh, yeah, so when they find the human, basically everybody but Frank thinks that the human should die. Frank thinks that the human should be used for information so that they don't get attacked by things like rain in the future, so that they learn more about the world that they live in now. And they later on have encounters with like birds. Meanwhile, while that's happening, there's an orange named Julius, because Orange Julius. The series is full of puns. Starts trying to like build an economy by using teeth as money, human teeth as money. Um, and I don't know. There's a whole bunch of things they use like little toy police cars to drive around in, and um, I don't want to like spoil the whole thing. So and like everything is a spoiler with the show because of where things go. That's a very cursory, quick overlook into the series. Um, that's the difference between like a review and a recap. And the recap, I'm fine sitting here and being like, this is everything that happened in this one episode. But when I'm trying to tell you about all the episodes, just like 2 days after it opened, I don't think that you necessarily have watched the entire series. So how it ends, I would say, leaves the door open for more if they wanted to. I would actually be surprised if they didn't make another season of Sausage Party. Seth Rogen did this earlier with Apple Plus, his series Platonic, with Rose Byrne was billed as a limited. It then later got a season 2 renewal. So I don't trust Seth Rogen when something's listed as a limited series. I think it's a way for him to get out if he wants to get out, or if Amazon wants to get out. Like, well, it's limited. It's like, yeah, I guess you could make a like a Sausage Party 2 without making a Sausage Party 3. You can stop making sequels at some point. But this does kind of feel like a long version of a Sausage Party 2, if this is what Sausage Party looked like. Um, they're saving on budget by not having a ton of other voice cast members here. It's still done by the same people who made Sausage Party, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, I think is his producing writing partner. So, yeah, and I think Jonah Hill's still listed as a producer for the show. So, a lot of it feels the same. The quality of this feels very similar, but it does feel like the freedom is there. The freedom to go further, the freedom to be essentially unrated is exactly what they're looking for, and they use that, and they absolutely extend it. The Boys does the same thing. Amazon lets this happen, and I think they're fine with it. You know, it's up to you. You can choose what to watch or not watch. You don't have to watch it. You can turn it off. Like, we all have remotes. We can not watch things. So there are parental controls set up if you don't want your kids to watch it. So lots of things. So is it good? Uh, Much like the first Sausage Party, I think it's good for one-time watch because a lot of these jokes are funny. They work one time. There's not everything here is consistently good, but I think it's entertaining enough to go through one time. I don't know that I need another season of this. I don't know that I needed this. You know what I'm saying? But I got this, and we expanded on the humor a little bit, and I saw kind of what they were doing, and some of it's funny, and some of it is like, okay, well, that's smart. And it feels like that they came up with enough ideas of things that they didn't do in the first film that they wanted to expand upon in a later film. So, um, but I don't know. I mean, if they can keep it fresh to where they continue to have these weird puns and situational comedy where it's funny to have that thing doing that thing, okay, then, but if you're just doing it because you feel like you have to, then I feel like this series could get lost really fast. Sort of like the Despicable Me franchise. It's just kind of stop making sequels, and just done. You don't know why you're making movies anymore. Um, but this is very, very adult. So don't let your adult animation has kind of blown up in the last couple years, and Sausage Party is going above and beyond what it needs to do. Audio description wise, I actually enjoyed, and I rarely can say this about Roundabout, but I actually enjoyed their audio description, the written part of it, and the narrator more than I did the movie. Because I've seen the movie at the same time. I watched it sort of like in the middle of watching these episodes. I took like literally almost in the middle. There's eight of these. I think after episode 4, I watched the movie again, and then I watched the other 4 episodes. So I'm not a big fan of the narration for the original movie. It wasn't very descriptive. I still think this could be more descriptive. I think this it doesn't necessarily always tell us what everything is, but or because a lot of people have names, but it's less in this movie. It's less in this TV show than it is in the movie. The movie fails that more because the movie has more people with names. This has less characters that are actual like characters and more that are just random food items walking around that don't really have names. We don't really know what or who they are, or they're referred to by their food because they're not voiced by anybody. So because they've limited and brought down the voice cast dramatically, um, a lot of things are just referred to by being food. So, uh, what I'll say, one of the reasons I'm grading this above, in terms of audio description above, is because I also felt like when shit gets sexy, Roundabout went for it, which is rare. I don't think they usually go for it, but yeah, they use some language and stuff in there to help the situation along. Is it perfect? No, it's not Bridgerton, but it's better than the original movie. I felt like the original movie could have gone further too, and they played it pretty safe, especially because I've seen the original movie, and I feel like this goes above that, and I felt like Roundabout went more for it. So, um, I yeah, I would give the edge. However, I don't think either one of them are really mixed well. I don't think the balance that and that could be a Netflix thing because it's a Sony film on Netflix. So it always could be the way that the audio description was passed from Sony. I don't think that that's necessarily balanced well on the movie. This, though, is an Amazon thing that's passed, and I don't think the recorded quality is that good. It doesn't sound like it was actually recorded at its highest quality and then put onto Sausage Party. It sounds like it was recorded at a lower quality than the show. So it does kind of sound like shitty audio description that way. Um, I don't mind Camilla. This Roundabout has used worse narrators before. Camilla's fine. I would use her more than some of your other people. You have some Roundabout has some narrators that I have not liked, and I'm like, I bye. Go read some audiobooks or something. I don't know, but she's fine. Not my favorite narrator, but I think this is the first thing I've heard her on or realized I've heard her on. So I'm willing to hear more. I just wish it had been recorded better. Like it doesn't sound like it's at the same level. It sounds like there's like a sound degradation on the audio description track versus the actual show. Like the show has that fresh quality to it of like we just made this, and then the audio description track doesn't have that. So um, I don't know that we needed the sequel. It's very, I'm not a prude, but it is very sexually explicit. So beware. And it has no shame. It'll go anywhere it wants to go. So 8 episodes. Watch it, don't watch it. If you like the movie, you'll probably like the series. I can't imagine that you wouldn't. Although, yeah, they did have to cut the cast, which is what saved on the budget. So it's like basically they're relying upon a couple of actors and 2 new faces, four returning and 2 new faces to basically flesh out the voice cast. And everyone else is just kind of like a one-off, like a hi, I'm here, bye. You know, could be anybody, basically. So, um, will there be a season 2 of this? Who knows? But I'm gonna give Sausage Party Foodtopia season 1. I believe this is not a limited series. I don't trust them. I think they absolutely will go for it if they feel like they need to. So I'm gonna give it a B plus. It's about the same as how I felt about watching Sausage Party the movie the first time. I don't think this has a rewatchability factor to it because the movie doesn't. The like a lot of these jokes, I'm finding it harder to watch Sausage Party over and over, even though I liked it. So I don't think that I would want to watch this series again and again. Anyway, yeah. So there you go. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.